Hello and welcome. In today's episode we'll be looking at the ATARI 2600. This was actually my first ever experience with the games console. I think I was around about 13 at the time. I bought an ATARI Junior second hand. I think it was at a car boot sale if I remember rightly. For those who don't know what a car boot sale is, it's basically you fill your car up with all the things you don't want anymore. You drive into the middle of a field in the middle of nowhere and you sell it all to strangers. Sounds a bit dangerous, doesn't it? But they were very popular here in the 80s and 90s in England. But obviously when the internet came along, with the likes of eBay, they became less popular because people were selling things at home. So just recently I started looking on eBay again myself, and I came across an ATARI Junior. I bought it more so for the games really, because I think it has 20 games with it from what I can remember. I do have obviously that one there, that's an earlier model. I do like that one actually because of the wood grain effect. That's a heavy 6, I believe they call that. It's got the 6 controls on it. So I suppose we better get it open up and have a look inside and see what I actually got, because I bought it now probably a couple of months ago. So hopefully it is what it is, what was sold to me. So let's take a look. Oh, here we go, here's the box. Sounds like it might be the cartridges in it rattling around. If I remember rightly now, I think it had some little trays for them to sit in. Hopefully it sent those as well. As I said before, I've not seen one of these consoles since I was a teenager. I think I remember it being a little bit smaller than that one there. Oh. Some cartridges there. Let's get it all out of the box. I'm trying to remember what I paid for it now actually. I think it was about £55. Oh, at least we've got an aerial lead. I think he said there were no controllers with it, if I'm rightly. It's a small box. Let's have a look at the games first, shall we? So, Maze Craze. Don't think I played that one before. Crystal Castles. Don't remember that one either. Yar's Revenge. That seems to ring a bell. It certainly look like they've been in storage for a long time, that's one thing to be sure. Covered in cobwebs. I like the little case that they're in. Watch it, some they've chipped off at the back. I didn't notice one in the box actually. Kangaroo. That's got to be a boxing game, hasn't it? So that's a later label, that one. Okay, that's it. I think they all are, aren't they? Yeah, so far. Pole Position, I remember that. It's one of the most popular games at the time, if I remember. Well, for me anyway. It's one of those multi-carts, tank pong, invisible tank biplane. I think I've got that a couple of times already. Venture. That looks like an old one. It says 1983 up to on it. 81 to 83. ATARI 2600 Boxing. Oh. I was never really into the sports games. More into shoot 'em ups and racing games. Centipede. I think I've got that a couple of times already. That is a late one, 1987 on that one. Solaris. Rings a bell again. Another late one, 87. You can always tell they're a lot later as well because the slot bit there, you can see that on the camera, the cartridge slot is a lot smaller and there's no cover for it. Whereas on the earlier ones they have a cover. So that was 1978. They've got a protective cover and so as you put it in, it reveals the edge of the cartridge when you go into the slot. I guess it saved them a bit of money as time went on. Sprint Master, another Formula 1 game. Is that Outlaw? Yeah. One. And then we've got Return of the Jedi. That'll be interesting. My son will be into that one. He really likes Star Wars. Frankenstein's monster. Wow, I've not heard of that on the Atari before. Kung Fu Master. It doesn't even look official. It must be. Just a basic paper label on it. Activision. It just feels so light. The plastic as well feels so different. It's more flexible. Pitfall. I've got that a few times as well, I think, already. Oh, PACMAN. I'm glad I've got that because I haven't actually got that on the Atari. I've got it on the VIC-20 there, but I don't have it on the Atari. Enduro, another racing game. That looks like an old one. Oh no, 1983. So is that 20 games? 6, 12, that's 18 there. Maybe there's 2 more in the box. I'm sure it said it was 20 games. Let's see what we've got in here. Oh, I can see some more games now. There we go, oh, there we go. Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. I haven't got that one either, so that's good to have. That's a later one there. And Epic's Winter Games. Again, that wouldn't interest me at all. That's so cheaply made. It's actually a single piece of plastic. You can see the fold line there, and the two halves just fall together. Wow. I guess after a while everybody started making them. Oh good, I've got a proper Atari power supply. I shall test the output of that first before I plug it in, just to be on the safe side. And here we go, Atari Junior. Wow. That is a lot smaller, isn't it? Compare it to that one. Much smaller. So we've got 4 switches there. On off, colour black and white. Colour black and white switch even then, in the 80s. Wow, that surprises me actually. I mean, I do remember having a black and white TV when I was younger. But then obviously colour TVs, the prices came down. Second hand were getting quite plentiful in the 80s. So we've got difficulty A, B, right controller, difficulty A, B for left controller, and the channel select, and there's nothing in there for the channel select. And that's your RF output on the back. It's in good condition. It's nice it's still got the original box. 1987 this one. Although it probably had the same packaging for a couple of years I would have thought. So it could be later than that. Right then, I suppose the next thing to do will be to test it. Try some of these games out. Now I do have an old TV, a nice wood grain set from 1972. It's a Sony. I think it's a KV1420 Mark II. So I think I might pull that down and test it out on that for a little bit of nostalgia. I think it's only right to do it on a TV of that age, especially for that one there with the wood grain, because that would have been playing on the TV like that at the time. So I'll go and dig that out now, then we'll try some of these games out and see if the console actually works. Oh, hello and welcome back. It's actually been 3 months since I filmed that first segment, and here I am now 3 months later. So for you it's just been a split second, but for me it's been 3 months, so I have aged a bit since then. I've got the old Sony TV out of mothballs, it's all set up, so let's try this out, shall we, now, and see if the Atari is working. I did test the power supply first. It's actually outputting quite a lot of high voltage, and it says on it, I think it says, yeah, it's got 9 volts on the actual label, and I've checked my other one as well because I've already got another one that says 9 volts too, but they're outputting about 13 volts. That's without a load on, so maybe obviously it steps down again once it's got a load on it. But let's try a game, shall we? What we've got, let's try pole position first. Sure it's set to colour. Go. Help if I plug the mains adapter in, isn't it? It's always a help if you plug the mains in. Go. That's not looking very good. Right, picture looks a bit off centre there. That's showing up on camera. I've not used this TV for quite a while, so it's nearly 50 years old now. So it's getting on a bit, but the ATARI is working, but the TV is playing up a bit, unless it's the ATARI. But no, it does look like the TV actually. Unfortunately, colour's a bit off as well, isn't it? Let's try another game. Got classic PACMAN there. Never actually played PACMAN before on ATARI. I played it on the VIC-20. Very disappointed that the TV's playing up. It's always the case when you want to do a video. So I've not used it for quite a while. Yeah, that's definitely not right. I think what I'm going to do is get another TV and we'll try it on another television. Okay, after a bit of messing about and tuning in, it's working okay now on the little Sony TV here. This is my little KV5000 TV, sorry 6000, KV6000BE, which I did a video about recently. But that's working okay. You can obviously hear that. Don't think I'm going to be able to see that. I'll do some close-up gameplay now and see what it looks like. I must say this is quite awkward trying to play this looking at a video monitor link from the camera itself onto another screen. I'm not the best at computer games as it is anyway. It's funny, I don't remember PACMAN looking like this. I remember it being a bit more a black background and more colourful. Maybe that was an earlier version of it. Let's try something else now. Pole position, let's try that. I think the first time I ever saw this game was on the Commodore 64, and then I remember seeing it on a film War Games, if I remember rightly. Obviously it was a different version, I don't know what computer it was on in War Games. But it looks like the ATARI 2600 Junior is working okay anyway. Which is good. Need to get myself a few more games now. There's quite a few that I don't have actually that I'd like to have. You think how old this game is, I think it's 1981. Quite advanced really for the time. You think of what they had to work with. Well, at least I didn't crash. Let's try one more now. What we've got here, Asteroids, yes, one of my favourites. This and Space Invaders are probably two of my favourite games on the ATARI. I don't seem to have my Space Invaders copy actually, I seem to have misplaced it, I don't know where it is, so I need to get that again. Now I'm struggling to see my little tiny ship on the screen I'm watching this back on, because I'm not watching this back off the CRT because I can't see the front. So yeah, a bit awkward to play with that. Well, I guess that just about concludes the demonstration on that ATARI Junior there, 2600. It's good to see that it's working okay after a few months of having it, and then another few months of doing this video. As I said, there's been a break in between the recording this, other things got in the way. It's a shame about the Sony TV there not working, or having a bit of a problem. It could possibly be capacitors, so it's getting on a bit now. I've had it 20 years and it's getting on to being nearly 50 years old now. I think it was 72 it came out. Incidentally, if you're into this kind of thing, old retro gadgets, computers and video cameras, I'm usually buying something off of eBay, so you may want to consider subscribing to my channel. That way you'll get notifications as and when I upload new videos. I usually post once a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks. Well, I guess that just about concludes this video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you.